Hello everyone, watch this review here with a look at the Transformers Hunt for the Decepticons Terradive. Now, I'm not sure exactly what interested me in this figure, but I think it was the Trident. I mean, it's a really neat looking head sculpt for the robot mode, and then the Trident helps give it, an aesthetic that you don't always see in the whole Transformers universe, because it has, I guess kind of a fantasy vibe, if that makes any sense, but not a huge collector of Transformers, but now and again a design will strike me and I do end up picking it up. And give me a second and I'll open this package. I guess we should start by having a look at his vehicle mode, which is a jet of some sort. Now, I suppose part of the whole appeal of Transformers is that it's kind of a two-in-one where, you're kind of getting two toys for the price of one. Which, is really true, especially in the bikes, where the bikes look like a bike and they look like a robot. Other cars where, there's some exposed robot parts, but, because they're on the ground, you'll never see them. The real problem is with planes, they have the parts on the bottom, and, if you're going to have it displayed like one is attacking the other from above, you'll always see that it's a robot underneath, and it's one of the things I've never quite liked about the, I guess the plain ones at any rate. But when I was checking these out in stores, a lot of them had I guess they have a transparent plastic here, and they spray paint on kind of light red or whatever, but for some reason some of them didn't have an even app, so it was partially exposed in the front. Just something to look out it for if you're going to pick one of these up. In general, I do like the look of the plain mode. I mean, the color choice is kind of cool and all, but the one drawback is the fact they don't paint all the way down the sides here. Not sure why they don't do that, but you can see the orange, kind of crappy. I mean, other than that, it's pretty decent. I guess the only other possible drawback is the fact that you have the jet boosters or whatever right up here on the top, where you'd expect them to be a bit lower, but I guess it's just because so much of the robot is hanging underneath, which I don't particularly care for either, and even parts of the robot are kind of exposed when you're looking at it from some angles from above, which is a definite downside and sort of a disappointment. But yeah, enough about the plain mode. Let's jump into the robot mode. Okay, so first off, I won't be doing the transformation for this guy on camera. I had a bit of trouble getting him from his vehicle to his robot mode, but I mean, it's more done right than is done wrong at this point. I mean, one of the problems I had was I couldn't get this one thing to peg in there, so I'm also not sure if there should be this much gap between the front plate and the back, or if another part's supposed to slide in there, so it doesn't have anything, but this is basically what he looks like from the front. Basically look what he looks like from the back, and just ignore the fact that there's this big, huge gap in the middle. At any rate, not as impressed with this guy as I thought it would be. I mean, it's a really nice head sculpt. The arm design's pretty cool. The articulation is really decent. Surprisingly so, in fact. But I mean, I just don't like the way that his shoulders kind of are here. Just, I don't know, there's something about it just kind of sticks out. I wish they'd somehow gotten it and then went with a slightly different color scheme, but I mean, that just might be how the character looks. He also comes with this really cool trident thing, which I guess plugs under one wing as a missile in his robot mode, or directly underneath the body alternatively. The fact that it can open and close is kind of cool, but when you're posing him, that will be something of a downside, just because it's going to flop a little bit, and it doesn't kind of lock into place somehow, so. But hey, it's a really nice looking accessory. As for the robot itself, again, I just really wish that they'd gone with say silver or something for this, so it'd look more robot-y than having those really blaring white plasticky portions. I don't know, but I do like the fact that his wings clip out like that on the sides. Arms look decent. Kind of cool chest piece here. Not terrible or anything. Now, in terms of articulation, we have a rotating wrist. The other cool thing is, if you want to, you can just switch it back to the thruster. Just flip it and voila, has a cannon arm. I mean, it would be cool if they had like a little thrust flame or something that came with this guy, because then he'd have like flamethrower arms, but, whatever. Now, this next part is a little funky, but he kind of has like a double jointed elbow, just because this part goes up and this part goes up as well. I mean, obviously the actual elbow portion looks more like right here, but, he has the extra movement, which I guess is kind of cool, even if it looks a little bit crazy when he does it. We also have a point of rotation here at the bicep. Again, pretty neat. And then swings out, and the actual shoulder doesn't really, it's not like a ball or anything, but you get the same range of motion just between all those joints. And this could alternatively hold the trident. I think that's what actually does in the vehicle mode. I don't know. Head rotates, also goes up a tremendous amount. You can also pop it off pretty easily. If you want to have a decapitated robot or use this head in something else. I don't know if these things will just like sort of cross-fit each other or whatever. Or what other figures they might fit on, but you have the option. Now, because the transformation is sort of goes straight across, it's all solid pieces, there's no waist rotation or anything like that, but we have a ball joint here at the leg, or at the hip to be more precise. Single joint knee, and then the feet can kind of like scrunch up because they're both on joints. Now, the other neat fact is that because of the transformation where this thing rotates and stuff, well, first of all, it moves in, then it rotates. It also goes for like a sort of cool like blade pose. Of course, I mean, I don't think the character will ever do that, but, it's just kind of neat if you're having a display and for another form of weapon or whatever. I don't know, all in all, when I first saw this character, I thought a tremendous amount, but at a pack, he doesn't really thrill me as much. I know that's like not a terribly descriptive thing to say or anything, but I really don't collect Transformers, so, I just don't have like a whole big standard to compare him to just for that purposes. I mean, personally, he doesn't thrill me too much, but I mean, some people might think that he's really awesome. In general, though, just given the difficulty with this and everything, I think going forward I'll probably just mostly stick to like bike characters because they transform a little bit easier and everything, and the whole aesthetic between the vehicle mode and the robot mode is just a little bit cooler for me personally. I know that they're coming out with, I think it's a new Elita 1, for the whatever the new Transformers series is. I can't remember what the actual name is. I still didn't see an episode of that. Again, I don't really follow Transformers, but I mean, that one looks really neat. I'd definitely be picking it up, but at this point, probably won't pick up a lot of Transformers going forward, although I have picked up a few right now that are still sitting in a box that I'll open at some point and we'll probably review. But until next time, this has been a look at Terradive from the, what was it, Hunt for the Decepitcons or something? I don't know. Yeah, it's real professional, but until next time, folks.